Welcome back to Alpine Garage Sports, folks. My name is Chris. I am your host for this show, and we talk about CU Buffs news, and today is no different. In fact, we have three great stories for you from the University of Colorado, and we want to get your feedback on it. First of all, Travis Hunter looks like he is poised to return for the Stanford game. We don't know. Coach Prime brings us some information on that, and we will talk about that in this episode. Second, if you watched the ASU game, you saw a running back by the name of Scattabo, and you may have thought to yourself, that guy is a hard runner. Well, there was also a controversial play at the end of the game, at the ASU game, CU-ASU game. Coach has given his take on what happened during that game, and I think you'll be surprised. And third, Coach Prime rings in on the running back room here at CU, talks about Alton McCaskill and his possibilities for playing in the next game, and also what does the rest of the running back room look like, and what are their chances going forward for the rest of the season. All of that and more on this episode of Alpine Garage Sports. Oh man, what a week after the ASU game. There has been some really good highline stuff and some really good kind of gutter trash all week long. First, let's start with Travis Hunter. Now, we knew that he was going to be out for a few games, and before the ASU game, Coach Prime was saying that it would probably be likely that he would be out through the ASU game, go through our bye week, and then hit the next game up and play through the rest of the season. And it looks like Travis beat the odds like he normally does. And Coach Prime stated that the doctors have given him a clean bill of health to play, which is the reason why he is in practice right now. And that there is a, quote, tremendous chance for Travis to play in the Stanford game. The reporter that asked him this question at the press conference asked him, what would dictate him not being able to play? And Coach said it's his wind, whether or not he's in shape for this game. And obviously Coach Prime is going to put the best players on the field. And if Travis has his wind, or if Travis is in good enough shape to be able to go out there and participate at the level that Travis can participate in, he is going to be there. Now, he also said that he is wearing protection to kind of protect the area, which is the kidney area that was damaged. So that plays a lot into it as well. So here is my question to this. Coming back a week earlier than projected is not surprising to me, obviously, because this is Travis Hunter we're talking about. And if he had his druthers, he probably would have played immediately after he got hurt. And also, Coach, it seems like Travis has got enough, I would say, clout in the coaching ranks to where he can state that he wants to play. And if he wants to play, we're going to play Travis. That's the way it seems like anyway. The question is he going to play at Stanford? And if he's not going to start, are we going to hold him back in the reserve area just in case? Maybe if we get behind with Stanford, we put him back out again, but we keep him off. If it looks like we're going to handle Stanford handily, which I think we are, and reserve him for another couple of weeks so that when we go into the meat of our season at the end after the bye, that we'll have a fully healthy Travis and ready to go. Or should we just let him go out there and be Travis Hunter? Because Travis is unlike any other player in college football history as far as I'm concerned. And if he says he can go, I believe he can go. And I guess the last thing you could say is maybe we limit him on receiving and we keep him just as a defensive back, which limits his potential of getting, hit, cheap shot. I'm not going to say that again, but you just never know what's going to happen with him on offense. So do we just reserve him for defense and allow him to make those plays at corner for us like he was projected to do in the first place? I don't know. Honestly, I think it's going to come down to what Travis wants and what Coach Prime will allow. Put your comments down below and let me know what you think of this whole thing, and we will see what happens coming forward here in just a couple of days. All right, Scattabo. We've talked about it. Scattabo. We talked about it during the ASU Live. He is a scrappy player. He seems to me like the kind of throwback player for ASU that you would see 20 or 30 years ago. Just a real hard-nosed player. Probably has a lot of athletic talent, but his ambition outweighs his talent, it seems like, in a lot of cases. Well, at the end of the ASU game, we're going to play that clip for you right now. It looks like the play is dead. Few players, including Scattabo, goes off onto the sideline. Looks to have contact with somebody, and one of the reporters that we heard said that it was likely an assistant coach for ASU. Immediately turns around and heads straight for Jordan Domineck and lays him out. In the process, Jordan Domineck had picked up the ball and was somewhat running to the opposite end zone as if the play were live. So at this point, it could be when that hit happens, obviously Jordan Domineck was not expecting to be hit. And I'm sure Scattabo, when he went off onto the sideline, was not expecting anything but a dead play. But somewhere in between there, he got the idea that this may be a live play and he needs to go out there and handle it. And of course, Scattabo, what looks like could be a soldier for ASU, goes out there and lays out Jordan Domineck. Now, the two teams do not really start a brawl or anything like that. It seems to be somewhat, there's a little bit of posturing between the two teams, but nothing really happened. In the press conference that Coach Prime had today, one of the reporters brought that up, and Coach Prime put an end to it and said that he had talked to Kenny Dillingham as recently as this last Sunday, and that it is a non-issue. So apparently this was just football to Coach Prime. It seemed like this was just another football thing, similar to the way that he reacted when Travis Hunter got hit, kind of on that late hit as well, which is, this stuff is going to happen, and we're going to put water under the bridge, and we're going to focus on the next team and not try to create any distractions or drama in the locker room. And I'll tell you, I watched that highlight several times in a row. And the reason why is because, guys, you have to remember something. I am a fan first. I'm a Colorado fan first. And when I see something like this, especially after what happened to Travis Hunter, it makes me take it back and go, I wonder if these teams are trying to create something when it comes to, being physical after the game is already over. I had to pull myself back and say, no, that couldn't be possible, because Scattabo he's a gritty player, and he's a soldier. He's going to do what the coaches say. And if there was somebody on the sideline that said, hey, this could be still a live play, somebody's running off the ball, of course, he's going to take it upon himself to go and end that play. And he did end that play. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it was just a misunderstanding. The guy that he is goes out there and he's going to handle it immediately. He's not going to stand on the sideline and just let somebody talk about it. I mean, who really knows what happened, and does it really matter? Put down in the comments, do you think that was a dirty hit? Do you think that was just football? I don't think anything should come out of it, because at this point it's water under the bridge. Coach Prime has pretty much brushed it off. I haven't heard anything from Jordan Domineck about it. So at this point, it just comes down to, as fans, what do we think? And is it possible that this is going to continue happening throughout the year, where teams may think that there's an opportunity to take advantage of us because we get the limelight? Maybe they're a little jealous about it. I don't know. I'm just saying this because it was brought up in a press conference, and I thought it would be fun to talk about, and I wanted to get your feedback on it and kind of get a little bit of chat going on this. Third, the running back room, my passionate running back room. For those of you who are part of the Alpine Army and understand and been watching my videos since the beginning of this season, you'll understand that I am no more passionate about the running back room as any other position in college football, because I think it's probably one of the most underrated positions in college football right now. And we have a dream backfield as far as I'm concerned. If you look at the individual players all the way down the line, including our walk-on players, they're very, very high level, very passionate, very good group. This year, we have not really I would say, exploited that part of our game to what I think is the fullest extent. Obviously, we've been getting better and better and better at using the run as part of our offense and kind of opening that up for Shedeur to be able to pass for even more yards. And maybe in this next game, it'll be opened up a little bit more, because Coach Prime came out in his press conference and said that it's going to be highly likely that we're going to see Alton McCaskill in the revolution of running backs that we have going right now at CU, and then it's highly probable that we're going to see him on the field. Now, this is truly exciting, because every single one of us, including myself, every CU fan out there, wants to see what Alto can do, because we've seen him at Houston. We knew he had an off-the-charts freshman season with over 1,000 yards rushing. And we would like to see that here, especially since the fact that we haven't really had a huge game in running yet. Even the last game, which was way better than it has been in the past, we didn't really get enough reps to really get that significant running game going. And Anthony Hankerson has basically put the entire running program on his back and really made a run of it. And So Anthony Hagerson, we have got to make sure that we give him mad props, because not only did he do it last year for CU in a losing season, but also he is doing it this year and being the vast majority of the carries. And then coach brought up Dylan, who needs to get the ball more. He brought up Smoke, who he called was a dog and is going to be a bigger part of this offense. He also brought up Wilkerson, because we haven't seen Wilkerson a lot in a couple of weeks. And it's time for him to get back in there too, because he's a bowling ball of a back. You put him in there, you get him past that first line, and it's hard to tackle him. And no one is talking about Offerdahl right now, who is a lot of grit. And you know, if you give him the ball, and he showed it last year, he's going to get some yardage for us. So maybe they'll get him into the rotation as well, like they did in Nebraska, where he got 5.5 yards per carry. I mean, our backfield is just immense. It is absolutely immense. And coach specifically said in this, quote, "We got to do a better job of getting the running backs the ball in these games." At this point, you know, coach has bought into the running game. He's also obviously bought into the passing game. They correlate together, because a good running game opens up the passing game. And when you have a quarterback like Shedeur Sanders, and you can get those passing lanes open, because the running game is a threat, all of a sudden it's bang, 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 touchdown, bang, 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 touchdown. And we can run over these teams with the types of running backs that we have. So I'm super excited to see the running game continue to get better. It's a passion of mine. I think it's something CU needs. I'm glad that coach is really seeing the opportunities here that we have at the running game. Woo, that is a big, big day of news here at CU. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe to the channel. We're going to be doing this all year, and we'd love to have you as part of the Alpine Army. Thank you for making Alpine Garage Sports part of your daily clicks for CU News. We will see you in the next video, and if you haven't already heard, Coach Prime may be trademarking the term hot garbage.